Okay, so I would like to welcome all of you to today's lecture. And let me share the screen with you. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, very good. So let me now upload the materials for today's package, that's Smart PLS. And today we'll be having a classroom assessment also on Smart PLS, so be aware of that. But first of all, let's try to put the Smart PLS materials into the elements. So I have not uploaded, so I'll be uploading that. Okay. So these are the materials. So let's 7.2 material 2. So we'll make this one number 1. And call it version 3. Okay. Right. And let's decommission this one. And let's see whether this version 3 is working. That's not good actually. That version 3 is actually wrong. So let me delete that. This should have been the correct one indeed. Yeah. Okay. So based on today's, and this is what we are going to do as well. So I'll be today's. So very carefully try to listen. Like very carefully try to listen. Okay, pressure modeling. So it's there. Okay, good, very good. Right. Now let me upload all these materials to the LMS. Okay, now you could download these things from here. So you go to, now everyone should have access. Today I'm going to do the exam, the quiz. Not the exam, it's a quiz through the LMS. So all will have to have access to this particular LMS, right? BSAA 32034 package-based data analytics 16D EXP. If you are unable to get access, immediately contact the LMS administrator and get access. I'm unable to help you if you are not having access. Right? Therefore, now itself, contact the LMS administrator and get the access. Because today, I'm not going to use Google form. I'm going to use the LMS to administer the quiz. Right? Okay. And then you can go down, 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 and then you can see Smart PLS. You can see the lecture slide and the case study. and the materials all are there. Right? Okay. Is that clear? Students, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Very good. And let me a little bit stop share the screen. Right? Let me a little bit stop share the screen. Stop share. And because I'm now going to take some confidential information, because what I saw was now this also is very important. So let me go a little back to our course, package-based data analytics, and then when I go to the 15 and 16D EXP benchmarks, there are certain students who has not done at all the midterm, the assessments. Okay, so let me tell who those are. And in this year's convocation, we hope to give a special prize. A special special prize. I didn't know what it is. Okay, now these are the students who have not done a single quiz. Single quiz. Okay. So let me verify because ළමයි එක quiz එකක්වත් කරන්නේ. We'll take one by one. Wait a moment, right? I cannot share this because yet the marks are there. Thanks. Yeah, these 3 students are also there. I need to verify who these are. Okay. So you can tell me whether these students have left the course or whatever, right? Now, yesterday I verified some people, but some people are still there. Okay, these are the students who have not got or not have done a single classroom assessment. HD Fernando, Harsha Sirivardhan, ANM Rislan, then N Hasif, right? N Hasif. Those are from 16D batch EXE. Then from the 15C and 15D, these are the guys, these are the people. OH Navaratna. Then HF, HP SR Kumarasinghe. Then M Sivapriya. So these people have not done a single classroom assessment. Are they there? Now, if I look at the group that these people belong to now, 16D yesterday I verified they had in fact not done it. No, actually Sevandi, KD Sevandi's group is Ishani Sevandi. Is Ishani Sevandi there? Oh, KA Fernando, JPJ Lienege, AK Nilmini, then D Alvis, that's group number 7. Any member from group number 7? Then we have Harsha D Silva. Yeah, Harsha is there, no? Harsha, are you there? Now, in your group, there is OH Navaratna. What has happened to that student? Your group is quite performing well, but the student has not attended. Is this person doing this subject or not? Anyone from that group? Right. Please let me know, right? So I think Miolu, are you there? You can inform this group number 7 to tell me what's going on with this particular student, right? And then, okay. Then Puta, we have group number 8. That's Salvador's group. Again, quite, yeah. Right. Then Salvador's group. Then we have Salvador Ranasinghe, Nimanda, Samaravikrama Pereira, Abesundar. And there is one person in that group also who is HPSR Kumar Singh. That person also has not done a single assessment. Seems they have left. Maybe they are doing the other subject. There is no problem, but I need to know. Right? Anyone from that group?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, my name is Sivapriyan.
Yes, Sivapriyan. Wait, let me come to you.
Yeah.
Still, I did not. Wait, Buddha, wait. Still, I am with HPSR Kumar Singh, right? Wait. Step by step, we'll go. Right, step by step. Okay, right. So that group number 8, right? What has happened to Kumar Singh? We will also put up, please kindly inform group number 8, right? Right. Okay. Now let's come to the next one. Next one is Sivapriya. That's in group number 9, where Mahalekam's group. This particular group is also quite well performing, but Sivapriya, now you can speak out. Why have you not done any single assessment?
Sir, I have done all assessment, all 3.
All 3.
In the Excel sheet also, my name is there.
Okay, that's what I can remember. So in that case, your number is incorrect. That's what it shows. Can you tell me what's your number?
BSc.
Okay.
2021.
Okay.
15D. WD 013.
013.
13.
Okay. Because that's what I wanted to verify. Because your name is very familiar. Sivapriya. So why this number has not been picked up? Now let's try to check. Sivapriya. You are a well-performing student. 13. Let's see. 2021. BSc 2021 dash. Ekani. You have put a slash after before 15D, right? In your group 1, there's something else, and here something else. So you have not written it consistent. And never mind, that could be verified. Okay, Sivapriyan. Okay. 15D. Ekane puta. Now, so the first person got එයාට නම් එක pick වෙලා තියෙනවා. For you, you have written your index number in different ways. That's the problem. Right? That's why we have to verify. Let me show you what we have done. Okay, can you see the screen? Now this is assessment C, right? Here see how you have written your index now. You have put WD in front of WD, you have put a dash. But in your group assignment, you have not a dash, but you have Sivapriya? See the difference? You have a slash.
Yes.
That's what. So you have to write consistently. And that's what I'm verifying everything. I know our good students. So I'm not going to show the marks of other things. So that's the error. Because I'm using VLOOKUP. So that's why you have to write your index numbers very correctly. So let me correct it now itself. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Let's see. Now it's picked up. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, good. So I'm going to take off your thing. So your brain is fine now. Right. Now I would like to know whether that's the case for the other 15B students. 15 C students. Kumarasinghe and Navaratna. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නම් consistent විදියට දීලා තියෙන block නම් පේන්නේ. I can see it's written in a proper way, but again I would like to know. Harsha, are you there? Harsha. Anyone from group number 7 or group number 8? Right. Miolu, just communicate to them and tell me what's going on with these two students, right? Okay. Others I verified yesterday for the individual assessments in 16D, where we completed all the presentations. And what we saw was that these students have not done those, unfortunately. Right. Okay, because I need to have all my records, and I really appreciate the two batch leaders, Pavani as well as Miulu, for helping me to correct these numbers. If not, it was an utter mess. Right? You were not able to write your number properly based on your the provided registration number. Because when we use VLOOKUP to aggregate the marks, it's not coming proper. Why? Because you have written your numbers improperly. So your two batch leaders had to spend an enormous amount of time to get it done. So still I have two students issues. One is Navaratna, and then the other one is HPSR Kumar Singh. So I would like to know what has happened to them. If they have left the course, there's no problem. In the sense, not left the course, in fact, they are doing the alternative subject. There's no any problem. But I would like to know that. Then I can remove the names from the groups. And they are being listed as the last members of this group. So probably that's the case. Right. But Sivapriyan was listed as number 2 in his group. And therefore, that was my question as well. But he has written his number incorrectly. Right? Okay, right. So we verified those things. Thank you. So let me now save it. That's what I thought of doing the thing in LMS, because the LMS, you will be having your proper number and you will be doing it properly, right? Okay. Right. Okay, so that's the confirmation of the group marks as well as the individual marks. Now, all 6 groups of 16D had completed their marks. They did very fine. And I expect our students in 15, right? The 15 batch also will prepare well for the presentation and do it properly, right? Okay, now let's go to today's discussion. That's Smart PLS. I hope you did downloaded, right? Those files, Smart PLS files. Right, please refer to the LMS. Now let me again share that with you. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So please download these files, Smart PLS, right? And this. And the first thing what you have to do is you have to get the package, right? You have to get the package, right? How to get the package? It's the free version is there for 14 days. And after that, you have to get the paid version. But on the other hand, after 14 days, if you don't purchase, you can have the student version. You can convert it to a student version, but there's a limitation that you can have that package running for only for 99 records or 100 records. You cannot put more than 100 records. So that's why I have created these files for 99 records. So even after the expiration of the trial period, you can use it, right? Because the student version is accessible. You can practice that even after 14 days. So that's why I have created a 99 version. So it suits you, right? Now, how to download Smart PLS? So to download Smart PLS, what you have to do is you have to go to Google and say Smart PLS. Smart PLS. It's one word. Smart PLS is a brand name. So it's a brand name like, for an example, Singer, Acer, right? It's a brand name. It has to be written always together. Some people write Smart and then PLS, so it's not correct, right? It should be Smart PLS written together. And if you just go to Google and search it, it will take you to that website, right? Smart PLS. Okay, then you can see download Smart PLS latest version. And you can see here, there are two, actually several variants. So you can see Smart PLS for Microsoft Windows, then OS X 10 is for Mac. And then you have even the Linux version. The Linux version is there for you. For majority of you can just download the, it's not a heavy package. It's around 40 MB, right? You can download it, right? You can download the installer. So you can see it's not heavy. It's around, now it's a little bit larger, right? It's around 167 MB. So I'm not going to download it because I have already downloaded it, but it will take few minutes to download. So you can download it and then run the install. Then, because since I have already installed, right, I'll show you a video, right, on installing Smart PLS 4 because I have already installed, so I cannot install it again. So this gentleman will be explaining how to install Smart PLS because when it tries to install, it will ask your email address to give you the trial license for 14 days, right? So that's why we'll run the video and you will see. I hope you can see this screen, right? And let me also make the sounds. Right, let me again share with sounds. Okay. Right. Now, please let me know whether you can hear this, right?
Video, I will explain how to download latest version.
Did you hear that?
Yes, sir. It's better if you can increase the volume a bit.
Okay, Buddha, thank you. Okay, I have made the volume Buddha full. So let me make it a little bit more. So max. Shall we try again?
Video, I will explain how to download latest version.
Okay, is it Buddha much better now?
Yes, thank you.
Very good, Buddha, good. Right. Now, Buddha, we will try to watch this video and see how Smart PLS could be downloaded. And now you can do what I told you, and he will also show you that. I encourage you to do it now and install Smart PLS, right? Okay, let's go ahead.
Version of Smart PLS. First, you go to Google and type Smart PLS download. After that, you click on download Smart PLS latest release, that is 4.1. When you click here, you will land on this page and you can download as per your operating system. I'm using Microsoft Windows, so I click on download Windows installer. When I click here, it starts downloading. You can see here it takes few minutes. When it is downloaded, you can click on exe file. It starts installing SmartPLS 4 on your system. It takes few minutes to install. Click on finish button to run SmartPLS 4. When you run SmartPLS first time, it gives you three options to register it. First is student lessons, that is almost free for many years. Second one is professional lessons, that is for those who have purchased a valid license key. Third one is free 30 days trial lessons.
Now, students, for you, you have to go for free 30 days license, right? They have extended not for 14 days, they have extended for 30 days. So 30 days license is there. So what he will explain is, advise you is he is recommending the 30 days first, and then you can later on convert it to student license after that 30 days. But remember, once you install Smart PLS, it will never allow you to, you know, reinstall that and have another 30 days. Right? It is, I don't know, they have put the maximum protection. Even I tried to see how to, use different programs even to uninstall and, remove all traces. But it knows that, so actually what happens is it's communicating with its server. And the machine ID, every machine has an ID, the hardware ID, and it's been recognized by the server, and it will never allow to reinstall. So then if you want to install and have the full version, you have to pay. But on the other hand, you can have the student license. Student version, that's okay. You can have it. After that 30 days. So, but there's a limitation. The main limitation, there are other limitations, but the main limitation is that you cannot run having more than 100 records. There could be only 100 observations. Now, for an example, 100 questionnaires. So that's the limitation. So let's see what he says.
I suggest if you did not purchase the valid key, you go for free 30 days trial lessons. And after 30 days, you can convert your software on student version that is almost free for many years. So I click on free 30 days trial lessons. When I click on it, you will land on this page. Here you enter your email ID, first name, last name, and click on submit. You will receive a confirmation code in your mailbox. Please check your mailbox. Here I have received confirmation code, that is C8295. I copy and I enter here and click on submit button. You can see here I got professional license for 30 days. After 30 days, you can convert your license into student version that is almost free. If you want to talk about the difference between student version and professional version. In student version, there is limitation in functionality. For example, you cannot analyze data if your sample size is greater than 100. However, in professional version, there is no limitation in functionality as far as data analysis is concerned. Now I click on Start Uses and create my workspace by selecting any empty folder. Here I created an empty folder with the name of workspace. I select this folder. Now it's ready to use. You can analyze your data. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Video, I will explain how to download latest version of Smart PLS. First, you go.
Okay, it's replaying. So that's how you would download, and you will get the key, license key, temporary license key, and you could install that. How many of you installed it? Anyone successful or still in the process of downloading? Now for today's classwork, you don't need to install Smart PLS, right? Today class is, I'm going to give you the output, right? I'm going to give you the outputs and I'll be asking you to interpret based on that to answer the MCQs. But again, as I told you, today's MCQ will be administered through the LMS. So you have to have access through the LMS. And so again, I'm going to put the LMS, no. So let me do that. So please make sure that you have access to this LMS, right? So I'm going to again reshare that in the chat. So please have access to this LMS, right? If you are unable to access, what you should do, right? I'm advising you to contact immediately the LMS administrator and get access. I don't think anyone is having a problem because we have done uploading and other things, viewing and things like that. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes from now to install and get ready. Right? Take 5 minutes and install it. It will take about 2 minutes to 3 minutes to download and install. And then once you do that, we'll discuss if you have any questions, problems. Okay. Do that now. Yeah, I can see a student who has raised a hand. Yes, Puta, please go ahead. That's Ilham, no? Ilham, do you have any question? Or is it a mistake? Maybe a mistake. Okay, no problem. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
සර් මම රුවිනාත් කුමාරසිංහ කතා කරන්නේ. මේ සර් මගේ අර ඉන්ඩිවිජුවල් අසයින්මන්ට් වල මම අසයින්මන්ට් දෙකක් කරා. ඒ වුණාට අර එක්සෙල් ෂීට් එකේ මගේ නේම් එක තිබ්බේ නැහැ.
ඔයාගේ පුතා මොකක්ද නම?
ශවින්දු රුවිනාත් කුමාරසිංහ.
මාරසිංහ.
ඔව්.
මාරසිංහ. මාරසිංහ. මොකද්ද group එක ඔයාගේ?
ගෲප් නම්බර් 8.
ඒක තමයි. දැන් කතා කරපු. group number 8 කුමාරසිංහ.
ඔව්. weekend
41.
041. ඔව්.
මොකද මේ ආවේ නැද්ද?
කරා සර් ක්විස් දෙකක් කරා ඔන්ලයින්.
බලමු. හොඳයි ඒක බේරගත් ගන්න එක නැත්නම් ඒක ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. බලමු. මේක නම් පෙන්නන්නේ ඔයා මොනවද කියලා නැහැ කියන්නේ.
සර් අන්තිම තුන්වෙනි ක්විස් එකට සර් මේ ටයිම් එක ඔඩි වෙලා තිබ්බේ.
එතකොට ඉතින්
ෆස්ට් එක. ඔව්
හරියන්නේ
ෆස්ට් එක. ඔව් ෆස්ට් එකයි සෙකන්ඩ් එකයි නා ටයිම් එක කරා සර්.
නැහැ. ඔයාගේ සබ්මිට් වෙලානේ. ඔයාගේ 41 41ක් කියලා එකක් නෑ පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න බලන්න. 41 41 නෑ ක්විස් නම්බර් 1 එක ඔයා ලියලා නෑ. 41 ක්විස් නම්බර් 2 එකක් නෑ. නෑ පුතා. ඔයාගේ මොනවත් ඔයා කරලා නෑ. ඒ මුසාවාදා දෙසාවාද.
නෑ සර් දෙකක් කරා.
දෙකක් කරලා නෑ ඔයා. තියෙනවනම් පුතා තියෙන්න එපා මේ. ඔයාගේ නමක් නෑ, ඔයාගේ නම්බර් එකක් නෑ. තියෙනවනම් තියෙන්න එපා පුතා Google form එකේ. කුමාරසිංහ ඔයා ස්පෙල් කරන්න. හලෝ.
ඔව් සර්.
ස්පෙල් කරන්න කුමාරසිංහ. ස්පෙල් කරන්න පුතා කුමාරසිංහ කියන නම. කුමාරසිංහ කියන එක පුතා ස්පෙලිං කියන්න. KU
ඔව් සර් KU MA RA SINGHE.
නෑ එහෙම නමක් නෑ. quiz 1 එකෙත් නෑ, quiz 2 එකෙත් නෑ, quiz 3 එකෙත් නෑ.
හරි සර් ඔකේ thank you.
හරි තමයි පුතා මේ බොරු කියන්නේ එපා දරුවෝ. කරේ නැත්තම් කරේ නැති විදියට ඉන්න පුතා පච ගහන්න නැතුව.
නෑ සර් තුන්වෙනි ක්විස් එක නම් කරේ නෑ. එකයි දෙකයි කරා සර්. තුන්වෙනි ක්විස් කරා. ඒ වුණාට ඒක ටයිම් එක මේ සබ්මිට් කරද්දි වෙලා ඉවර වෙලා තිබ්බේ.
ඔයාගේ එහෙම එකක් නෑ පුතා මේකේ. 41ක් කියලා තියෙන්නේ පායේ නම් පුතා කරාන. කරේ නැතුව කොහොමද කරයි කියලා කියන්න. සිවප්‍රියන්ගේ පැහැදිලිව මම චෙක් කරාම තියෙනවා. ඒ මිනිස්සයා නම්බරේ වැරදි ඉරලා.
ආ.
ඔයාගේ එකක් නෑ.
සර් මගේ එකේ මම තුනම කරලා තියෙන සර්.
ඔයා කවුද?
26 සිල්ව සර්.
මොකද? සිල්වා.
26 ඔව් සර්.
සිල්වාගේ ඔයාගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ පුතා ඔක්කොම කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මම ඔයාගේ ගෲප් එකක මෙම්බර් කෙනෙක්ව අපිට කන්ටැක්ට් කරගන්නවා.
හයි සර්.
ඔයා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔයා පුතා සිල්වානේ ඔයා ගෲප් නම්බර් කීයද?
7 සර්.
අන්න හර්ෂ.
ඔව් සර්.
ඔයා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. නමුත් ඔයාගේ මේ ගෲප් එකක මෙම්බර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා.
ඔව් සර්.
මේ මොනසර මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? නවරත්න කියලා. එයා ඉන්නවද නැද්ද මැරිලාද මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ?
සර් මට නම්බර් එක පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න පුළුවන් සර්?
ඔව් 24.
24.
ඔව් 24. 15C WD 24.
Excuse me,
මේක
sir.
බලමු.
කවුද? කවුද පුතා මේ කතා කරන්නේ?
ඒ නවරත්න
Excuse me,
සර්.
sir. I'm Navaratna.
නවරත්න. Now, right, Harsha මේ නවරත්න කතා කරනවා. So නවරත්න, why have you not done any quizzes?
Sir, මම රිසර්ච් එක තමයි මුලින්ම තෝරගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකේ මේ රිසර්ච් ටොපික් එක සබ්මිට් කරගන්න බැරුව ඊට පස්සේ මම මේ ඇඩ්මින් එකට කතා කරලා සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක මාරු කරා.
ඒක තමයි පුතා මෙතන ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඒක පෙන්නනවා මෙතන. දැන් ඔයා පුතා ඉතින් ඒක කරාට පුතා ඉතින් ඔයා quizzes marks ඔයාට මොනවත් නැහැ. මොකද පුතා classroom assessment එක classroom එකේ දෙන එකක් නේ. right? ඒක නිසා මේ මම ඒක verify කරගන්න තමයි කතා කරේ. එහෙනම් හරි ඔයා කරලා නැහැ. හරි පුතා හරි. දැන් ඉතින් මේ group work එකවත් කරගන්න.
Okay, sir.
ඔව්. අදත් assessment එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් කරපු නැති ඒවාට පුතා ඉතින් ඔයාට ලකුණු නැහැ. ඒකයි පුතා මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකකින් එකෙන් එකට පනින්න යන්න එපා. කරන දේ හරියට පුතා කරන්න. But again, you are welcome. Welcome කරනවා අපේ we are welcoming you to this subject, right? Very gladly again, right? I never said, but again පුතා you have to do your duty. duties ටික හොඳට කරන්න. දැන් අද එකවත් කරන්න. එතකොට අඩුම ගානේ යම් මාක්ස් ප්‍රමාණයක් ලැබෙයි. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ඉතින් කියන්න තියෙන්නේ. මම ඔයාට ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා අවංකව ඔය ඇත්ත කියපු එකට. right? Always tell the truth. ඇත්ත කියන්න. නිකන් බොරුවට නිකන් එක දේවල් කියාගෙන ඉන්න එපා. මොකද අපි පුතා මෙතන උගත් මිනිස්සුනේ ඉන්නේ. මෙතන මොඩියෝ නෑනේ. එතකොට අපි යථාර්ථය කියලා we have to tell the truth and we have to get things done. Okay. Right. මම හර්ෂ වැහුවේ මේ ඔයාගේ group එකේ member කෙනෙක් නිසා. හර්ෂගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. Harsha doesn't have any issue.
අනේ sorry sir.
No. You don't have any.
yes sir. මේ මගේ පැත්තේ chat option එක පෙන්නන්නේ Teams වල මම දන්නේ මේක මට විතරද issue එක නැත්නම් වෙන කාටවත් තියෙනවද කියලා. මට link එක
ඒක පුතා හේතුව මේ ඔයා පුතා මම හිතන්නේ log වෙලා නෑ ඒක. But never mind. අද පුතා LMS එකට තමයි log වෙන්න ඕන. හර්ෂ බලන්න 16D LMS එකට log වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා.
Hi sir.
Subject එකට. So I'll share the screen again. මෙන්න මේ LMS එකකින් හරහා තමයි අද assessment එක කරේ. BSAA 32034 package-based data analytics. That's the quiz එක කරන්නේ ඒකේ. So the quiz will be done based on this. Okay. So be ready. Right. Okay.
ඒක වැඩ.
Okay. That's very great. Good. දැන් කාට හරි මෙන්න මේ page එකට access නැත්නම් right. දැම්මම if someone has no access to this particular page, right? Kindly immediately contact the LMS administrator and get access. Because I cannot give you access because I'm not the LMS administrator. මේකට access ලැබෙන්නේ විවිධ දේවල් තියෙනවා. You have to have different things now. Majority 99% can, but if you cannot, there is some reason for that. So rectify that with the LMS administrator. Right? Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to start my smart PLS, but for that I have to a little bit quit and come back. Right. So I'm going to log from my phone and then I'm going to quit the computer and I'm going to come back. Right. Okay. Right. Now I'm from my phone. Now let me start smart PLS. Okay. So how about others? Did you install smart PLS successfully?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, very good. So it's not a huge package like SPSS, and you don't have, a cracked version also. Different versions are not available. But if you really want that, then there's a way to get that. But again, it's not quite straightforward. Right. Because even in my case, I have to open it and do it in a particular way. Because this has got very strong kind of way of protecting itself, this package. And also, if you are trying to purchase this package, it's very, very expensive. The student version has only 99 records, so we can use that for the classroom discussions. But on the other hand, it's very tough program. In the sense, it's very easy to analyze data, but it's very tough to have the, original version. You have to pay for that. But the student version you can use forever. Right. Okay. Give me a moment, Puta. Now I'm going to log in. Okay, students, I think you can hear me. And on it,
Yes, sir.
okay, Puta, good. Right. So now I think you have installed Smart PLS and open Smart PLS. It would look like this. First of all, when you are going to, start Smart PLS, you have to use this workspace and set current on workspace. Wait, I'll share my screen with you. Right? So you can see that this is the Smart PLS screen that you will see. You won't see this all because I have used this for a long time. So I have my own projects. And you can see that you have to first of all set up a workspace. So here I have already set up. You can go to new workspace or the workspace, and then you can choose a folder. You can create a folder in C or in E or D or wherever. I usually have my folder in the Google Drive or some kind of drive that syncs. Then I will never lose my data. But you can have your work folder. So in that work folder, all the Smart PLS information will be saved. That's where all your information will be there. You can choose anywhere you want. I prefer to choose it in a OneDrive or maybe Google Drive, or I have this iDrive. Likewise, different sync software is there. So I choose to and prefer to create that folder in that drive, because even if my computer gets damaged, my local PC gets damaged, I have everything in the cloud. So you could choose accordingly. Okay. So once you have that, that's it. Okay. How did everyone come? Now for the today's quiz, you don't need this, right? You don't need this, but I'll be giving you the output as I did earlier, the output file, and then by looking at the output file, which will be in PDF, you have to provide the answers, right? Okay. Right. Listen carefully and also do, if possible, what we are doing. Right? We have now about 41 people. 41 people out of how many students? 100%. Yes, Thai Kavala has a problem. Yes, Puta? You have raised your hand.
So for today's quiz, some of our friends can't join to the lecture because they are sitting for research subjects exam.
That Puta, I cannot resolve. I cannot help that. So hope they had, so hope
Some
they
of
had
them
done.
have informed you, they said me and told me to do an alternative reminder to you.
No, Puta, they have to send me a formal list.
Uh,
They have to send me a formal list through the administration, isn't it? Saying that
yeah.
they have because I cannot just take up an email. No? There should
Yes.
be a formal request from the administration saying that these people are sitting the exam. And so likewise, then I would be able to consider. But again, as I told you, not all quizzes I'm going to take. I'm going to take certain quizzes, maybe today or some other day, and consider that for the quiz marks. So therefore, even if they skip one, it might not be impactful. But on the other hand, if they are if they are sitting for an exam or something, it should come formally to me.
Yes.
Because anyone can tell no Puta, can send me an email
Yes.
say,
Yes, sir.
So therefore, it has to come in formal channels. But again, tell them not to worry because
Okay.
we'll be taking put certain pieces out of these. No?
Yes.
But however, thank you for representing them. But tell them to always follow the proper channel. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Traika. Okay, thank you. Right. So that's because always it will be nice to follow the protocols and do the things properly. So there'll be minimum disruptions, misunderstandings, miscommunications, and it will be very nice, isn't it, to follow the protocols and all the things. And so it will be very easy to conduct things. Right. Okay. So then we'll see now how to do the things. So for that, first of all, download the files again in the LMS. LMS එකේ files ටික download කරගත්තා කියලා මම හිතනවා. So I hope that you have downloaded the files right under here. Make sure you go to the 16D page, and in that page, you will see that there is Smart PLS file. So please download all these files, and I'll be using these files. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using this case study here, a small case study, which will be quite similar for your final exam as well. The case study will be given. And let's see what this case study is all about, right? So first of all, let's open this case study. Right. So this is a music premium app, right, that some students have been launched. And there's a trial version indeed. And now they are trying to see what's the purchase intention, right? What's the purchase intention for the premium version? For the premium version. So with an entrepreneurial spirit, a group of students expect to introduce the music premium app and has launched a trial version with the premium features for a limited time. Right now, so there are some guys, there are some users who are using the premium features for a limited time, like Smart PLS, right? And then they intend to know the purchase intention and other dimensions of this premium music app and distributed a self-administered questionnaire among the trial users. So the question is given in Appendix 1 of this case. If you go to Appendix 1, the question is there, which we discussed to a certain extent last week as well under question discussions, isn't it? So today also, if time permits, I'll be discussing the remaining questions. And also, if time doesn't permit, we have another 2 sessions. In the second session, maybe next week also, we'll be taking presentations physically for the 15 batch. And then after that, we'll have another 1 remaining session on 11th. But on 11th, I don't think I'll be able to do the lecture. So on a weekday evening, we'll be doing the last one. And there I'll be elaborating the other questions, right? Okay. So if you go to Appendix 1, you can see the question is there. Gender is there, age is there, marital status, higher secondary education, those are there. Then these are called the demographics, the occupation. Then also it asks about how do you listen to the music app? How do you listen to music live on air or download offline music? And also it says, okay, what are the platforms that you use? Radio, television, YouTube, Facebook, website, etc. And then comes the very important set of questions, which are the independent and dependent variables. Now here you can see there are, now if I go and show this to you, if you go to the Smart PLS, and if you go to Smart PLS, the PowerPoint, right, again, you can download it from the LMS. Here, this is the PowerPoint I'm using, 1 Smart PLS Lecture 2 PowerPoint. So if you go there, so this is the conceptual framework, A conceptual framework is where you have the independent variable and the dependent variables. We have functional value, social value, emotional value, conditional value, epistemic value, opinion leadership. Now these things we expect will impact the purchase intention of the premium version of the music app. Functional value is what? Functional value, how much functions they believe that this music app has. Social value. Some people use certain items because it has social value. Why people use BMWs, iPhones? Why? Because they think it has a social value. For me, I don't that much care about social value. What I care is the functional value. I need the utility, the function. I don't care that much of the social value. Indeed, I'm not an antisocial person, but coming from an accounting orientation, always I'll be looking at cost benefit. So what's the functional value in certain things? Okay, then emotional value. Likewise, you have 6 independent variables and 1 dependent variable. So if you go to the questionnaire, you can see these things are there. Let's go to the question. Yeah. Now you can see opinion leadership, one of the independent variables. You can see there are how many questions? 6 questions asked on the same variable. So in SPSS, I told you that you can ask, you will be asking sometimes several questions under one variable. Why is that? Because then even if one question was misunderstood, you can rely on the other questions. So I think you can remember under job satisfaction, total job satisfaction or total life satisfaction, right? We had how many sub-questions? Life satisfaction scale sub-questions kiyat tibuna. How many sub-questions were there? 5 sub-questions were there. Can you remember? Likewise, opinion leadership has 4 sub-questions, 6 sub-questions. Then emotional value has 7 sub-questions. Now, by averaging these questions, if they are okay, you can make the variables, right? The emotional value has 3 sub-questions. Then conditional value has 4 sub-questions. Epistemic value has 4 sub-questions. Social value has 4. And then finally, the dependent variable purchase intention has 4 sub-questions. And that's what you have. Right? So that's the questionnaire. And that's the sub-questions variables for you to understand. Right? So the question is available in Appendix 1 at the end of this case study, which you saw now. Then the questionnaire consists of 2 parts, demographic factors, and part B consists of the dependent and independent variables. So these variables, the independent and dependent variables, were measured using 5-point Likert scale. And that's it, what you have to know. And also you can see this data is then put into Excel file. DA Premium Music Premium Database 99 Records Excel, which you can download from the LMS again. Yeah. DA Music Premium Database 99 Records. You can see that Excel file is there. And also I have given you the SAV file, that's the SPSS file as well. In Smart PLS4, not like in Smart PLS3, in Smart PLS4 you could import data from both Excel files, not only both Excel files, SPSS files, etc., etc. But in Smart PLS3, earlier version, you could import only from a CSV file, right? A comma separated file. But here in Smart PLS4, it's much more advanced. You can import, at least in the professional version, you can import Excel files, then also SPSS files, data files you can import, right? Okay. Then this is now the issue. A quite heavy investment is expected to make in further developing, launching, promoting, and maintaining this app. And therefore, the group of students, you, has requested you, right, again, you, to perform an analysis of the collected data and provide them insights. Right. Okay. Then now there are 6 independent variables, and you might need to say, okay, what's the most significant variable? Now you could have easily performed this analysis using SPSS. But now today, what we are going to discuss is, we are going to discuss a much more advanced software. SPSS is a basic software which can run the OLS regression, ordinary least squares regression, but Smart PLS can run very complex relationships. So Smart PLS has that capability. Like it can have moderators, mediators, etc., etc., etc. Right. Now, for an example, if I go to my Smart PLS, where's my Smart PLS? Let's go to my Smart PLS. If I go to my Smart PLS, and if I go to just an example, these I'll show you how to draw these things, right? Let's take another example. Yeah, let's take this example. I'm going to show you a quite intricate model. Now see, right? You can see several variables are there, right? Perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use. Then there's a middle variable that's called a mediator variable. Then you have that's the attitude, and then you have the actual use, right? You can see several variables are there. Several variables are there. So SPSS cannot test these kind of very complex relationships. And also in SPSS, we have to ensure certain assumptions. I think you could remember there was an assumption that says what? The data has to be normal. At least the dependent variable has to be normal. It cannot be abnormal. But in Smart PLS, you don't need to have that assumption. You don't need to. If that's there's no problem, but you don't need to have. And also in SPSS, you require a large set of data, usually. But in Smart PLS, if you even have a little amount of data, right? Even 50, 60 data points would be enough to run the regression. So likewise, Smart PLS could, now even more complex model, Smart PLS could run. Right? But in SPSS, you cannot do that. So that's why we are today going to study Smart PLS, because it's the next generation of regression analysis. And you can see, you can run the regression visually. You can create the model visually, which I'm going to tell you and teach you. You can run the model visually, and you can do that. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do is, I'm going to go back. Right. Okay. So I'm going to close this. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Now I just gave an introduction. What's the difference between Smart PLS and SPSS? So at the exam, you might be asked, right? What's the difference? The main difference is Smart PLS could check complex models. Smart PLS could run complex models, while SPSS can run, right, simple models. But here, for our purpose, we are going to do a simple regression analysis. And then I'm going to add a moderator into this later on. That's a different story. But what you have to understand is that Smart PLS is a very, very capable program which can run regression. But that doesn't discount SPSS. Now to do descriptive analysis, t-test, etc., you might need to use SPSS. But for regression, for running complex regression models, you can use Smart PLS. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you use data for what? Now, different tools are there for different purposes, right? Now, to brush your teeth, you use a brush. Now, to taking down notes, you could use a pen. Now, you are not using a pen for brushing the teeth, no. Likewise, for different purposes, different tools are there. Now, if you have complex models, you could use Smart PLS. Very complex model, like a lot of variables are there, mediators, moderators, etc., are there. Then you should use Smart PLS. But on the other hand, if you have a simple model, you can use SPSS. And of course, to run, like for an example, descriptive analysis, t-test, even correlation analysis, you could use SPSS, not Smart PLS. And if you, now, in case if you have a model where there's a panel structure. If you have data in a panel structure, then you should not use both of these, right? You should use what? Stata. And you have to use stata panel regression. Likewise, I have exposed you to different kinds of models, right? Different kinds of software, different kinds of analysis. So these are the max we could go. There are more, but again, this will be very much sufficient for you to understand. Right. Okay, let's go now back to our PowerPoint slideshow. Right. So this is what I was telling. To do structural equations. So that's what now these complex models, right? We can check through the structural equation modeling. Structural equation modeling that intricate relationships. We can check that. Now, this is the next generation of structural equation SEM or structural equation modeling is the next generation of regression analysis. And there are two ways that you can do this structural equation modeling. One is through covariance-based SEM. Don't worry about these things. Just understand that there's this one method, CBSEM, covariance-based SEM. And you could use software packages like MOS, Literal, M+, right? Again, don't worry about them. We are not going to discuss them. But on the other hand, the second approach is what's the most popular one, which is the partial least square, PLS. That's what we call smart PLS, the name of the package. So partial least squares approach. And here the most popular package is smart PLS, which we are going to discuss today. And you will see how easy that is. It's not difficult. It's easy. Right. So this is the music premium case study, which I elaborated to you. And you have two files, of course, the case study docs we went through, and also the 99 records Excel file, which is also there. And then you can see the 6 independent variables and the dependent variable, which is there in that Excel file. Shortly, we'll look at that. Right now, let's go to that Excel file. If you go to the Excel file, you can see here. Smart DA Music Premium Database, 99 records. The Excel file is the Excel. Right, you can double click and open them. The species file is also there. And you can see the other responses from 99 people. Right. 99 people, they have got responses on the music premium app. The marital status, income, etc., etc. is there. And if you want more details, you can open what? You can open the SPSS file. Yeah, SPSS file is also there. DA music premium database, 99 records, SPSS file. So the coding is, everything is done. You can go to variable view and you can see the labels are there. And also the value labels are also there. Everything is there in this particular, right? So in the trial version, you can import data from an Excel file or even the CSV file is there. CSV is comma separated value file, which is a very basic version of file. In trial version, usually that's what you have to use to import data. And that's it, right? So so we'll use probably this SPSS file to import the data to Smart PLS for the analysis, right? Okay, so keep this handy. It's all in the LMS. You can download it, right? These are all here. So you can download it, right? Okay, then let's go to the PowerPoint. Now let's see now how to draw the model. So not like in SPSS, you can visually draw the model and run the analysis, right? You can visually do that. How can you do that? Right. Now let's do one by one and I'll teach you how to do that, right? Okay, now go to the Smart PLS app that you downloaded and opened. And at this moment, you should have the kind of set up a workspace. That's the first thing to do. Just select any folder that you like, right? And then we shall go to the new project. Can you see here? There's something called new project. Is it visible, Puta? New project? Students, are you with me?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. පිට අහනව නැත්තම් මේ නිින්ද ගිහිල්ලාද දන්නේ නැහැ. So therefore, tell me whether you can see that and things like that. Okay, right. So go to the new project and give a name. The new project is your research project, right? You can give a name. Let's say, okay, music premium, right? Application project. You can give any name. I just gave music premium application project. Right? You can give any name. There's no problem, right? And then you can say create. Then you will see that a new folder appears and it gets open and it says music premium application, and then it says import data file, right? And then create model. Import data file and create model. First of all, let's import the data file. Now here the data file means the SPSS or the Excel or CSV file. The data is therefore these premium, right? The trial users who are using the premium features for a short period. So here you can say import data file. Go to import data file. And then go to the location where that file is there. Now for this example, you can, of course, you can download this. You can import the CSV contents, or you can take these contents as well, which is the Excel contents, or you can even import the SAV contents. So I will take the SAV file, or you can even take the Excel file, no problems. So it says DA Music Premium. Let's use the Excel file, right? Much better. Excel file. We can choose the Excel file. Or now, if you compare this Excel file, now in the trial version, you might have to use the CSV file, right? Once it becomes trial, not the trial, the student version, you might use the CSV file, but here you can import the SPSS file. So keep that in mind. Sometimes after 30 days, you might not be able to open any of these files, or you can maybe open only the CSV file. So I'm going to use the Excel file. Okay. With the Excel file, I just choose that file and I could say open. So the import wizard opens, and then it says, okay, about different, it gives, if you expand it, you can see different information is given. You can see the variables in the data set is listed nicely, right? And also the minimum values, maximum values. Now for each variable has been given, and some other information is also given. So likewise, it's now trying. And also it will indicate here down, if you look closely, you can see here it says what? 2 empty values. So missing values are being observed. So when it comes to smart PLS, what it says is you cannot have missing values unless you specify them. So in SPSS, we understood how to specify missing values by indicating 999, isn't it? So here what we could do is we can indicate again, we shall say, okay, apply 999, which is a huge value, right? We can say apply 999 for missing values. So it has detected in this data set that there are 2 missing values, right? 2 missing values. So that's fine. So we'll say SPSS to the smart PLS, right? Like we did in SPSS, put 999 as a missing value, and you can say apply. Now it became the green color. That means once it becomes green color, you can import it. If it was yellow color, it did not allow you to import. Right? It did not allow you to import. Then what you can do is you can, once it become green color, then everything is fine, and you can press import. So you can see now the data file got imported. Now see, this is the data file. So it gives all the information. So here you can see these are the Marital status, 2 people did, it was missing. So that's what it indicated as missing, and it has been now coded as 999. Then all the variables are here. And here you are also given what? Information related to each variable. Now, for an example, let's say age. Age, you can see the mean value is 35.45 and the median is 36. Likewise, a lot of information is given. So this is information is given to see whether things are okay. Now age, here you cannot have a max value of how much. Now, even earlier you could have seen that a huge value, right? You can have a huge value, like now here it's 67 is the max of age. Here it was 167, something is wrong. Likewise, you will be looking at the reasonableness of these values based on the maximum value, minimum value, the median, mode, not the mode actually, median, mean, right? And missing values, likewise, you could check that. So here I don't think there's anything wrong. So what you can do is you can go to back. Here, you can see back sign is there on the top. You know. So once the data is imported, it will give you the screen. And if you are okay with this data, if not, you will have to adjust it and re-import. Then you can go to back. Can you see back here? Over here? I'm just using the mouse to show it. So you go to back. Now you can see that you have imported the what? The file. The Excel file is there. That's step number 1. How many of you did that? Are you successful?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Yeah. Right. Then congratulations. So you have imported your first data file into SmartPillar. See how easy it is, isn't it? Right? Okay. Then let's go back. Okay. So open SmartPLS for new project. We did these things. Then give a project like music premium application project or whatever. Then import the data file, which we did. And you can specify 999 for missing values. And then you will go to creating the model. And you will be creating a PLS SEM. PLS is partial least square, SEM is structural equation modeling. And then you can give a name. And then after that, you can draw the diagram, which I'll teach you step by step. Right. Now let's go back to SmartPLS and Puta. Now here you can see, now in this nice, diagram, it shows the data file, right? It's a data file indeed in green color, right? The disk signs are there and that's a data file. Now you can see on top of that, there's something called create model. Can you see that? Create model. So go to this create model and click on that. Then it will ask certain options. So it says, okay, create model under what? We'll say, okay, music premium application, leave it as it is. Then model type. And the model type, you have to choose PLS. There's other models as well, like even CBSEM is there, which you are not interested. Regression and other kind of things are there. We are going for PLS, partial least squares structural equation model. PLSM stands for that, right? PLSM. So I choose that. I suggest you also choose that. And then you can give a model name. Let's say, let's give a model name. Music app. Anything, right? Music app. Okay, let's say premium music app. Just give any name for the model. Now, earlier you gave for the project. Now these for the model. Right. So what I did was I choose the model type PLSM and then I went to model name and I gave some name. If you want, you can give your own name. No problem. Give some sensible name. Okay. And then you can press save. Right. You can see here. Press save. Okay. So you can see, this is the canvas we call. Now here is where we are going to draw different, variables, the 6 independent variables and the dependent variable. These are the canvas. And you can see in your left hand side, all the variables are listed. Now you can see OL1, OL2, OL3, these are the sub-variables of opinion leadership, right? If you go to the SPSS file, you can see them. So let me open that. Here you can see these opinion leadership variables, 6 opinion leadership variables. Then functional value, there are again 7 variables. Then emotional value, you had 3 variables, likewise 3 sub-questions, right? These are sub-questions under the variables. Just put someone's microphone is on. Maybe if you want to ask questions, but you can ask, no problem. Right. And then let's go back. Right. Now let's see how to draw the model. So that's the next thing that you have to do. Once you are in this canvas, you can draw the model. Right. How to draw the model is what I'm going to explain to you now. Now for this, to drawing the model means you are going to put the independent variables and the dependent variables. Now what's the first independent variable? You can see here opinion leadership. So to get this, now these are the sub-questions of opinion leadership. I told you that there are 6 sub-questions. Now each of these are there. Now if you go to the questionnaire, you can see that. Let me take you to the questionnaire. Here, in this questionnaire, you have taken responses for opinion leadership. And opinion leadership has 6 sub-questions. That's that. Then emotional value has 7 sub-questions. Likewise, now if you go to the model, you can see that. Right? OL1, OL2, OL3, those are the 6 sub-questions. Now you are going to take that as one variable. So what you are going to do is you are going to select the first OL1 and then press Shift and the down arrow key to select all opinion leadership sub-questions. What I did, I selected the first one by tapping on that. Right? Just click on that. And then what I do is I press Shift and the down arrow key to select the other sub-questions of opinion leadership. Right? You have to take that as one set. Right? I'll tell how to take that. But first select them as one set. Okay. Then once you do that, you can drag. You can click on this, drag this, and drop it to the canvas. Then it will ask a name. Yes, it has given OL. Yes, let's give a short name, opinion leadership. Right? And just hit enter. Then you can see OL and the 6 sub-questions are there. OL1, OL2, OL3, likewise the 6 sub-questions are there. And since we want, these sub-questions from this side, so we can take that easily, right? We can click on this and then we can use this arrow here to take these 6 sub-questions to this side. If you want, again, that side, you can have it that side. Now, this is the way that you can arrange. So I would like all the variables, independent variables this side, with its sub-questions on this side. Right? So you got your opinion leadership. Did you do that, Pudha? Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good. Then let's now take the functional value. The functional value also, you can see, I have clicked the first one and then Shift and the down arrow key. And please select the 7 functional value questions. And again, what you have to do is you have to drag and drop that to the canvas. Then it will say FV, giving a short name. You can change the name, but leave FV as it is. There's no problem. And I'm going to hit enter. So if you hit enter, it will come over here. So again, I would like to see, right? I would like to align it with the earlier one. And I would like to see that these sub-questions on this side. So I'm going to make it there. I'm going to make this one. Then I'm going to leave it go down because it's clashing with the earlier one. And now you can see I have taken the sub-questions this side. Then let's do the same for the next one. That's functional value. What's the next one? Emotional value. Emotional value, how many questions you had? You had 3 questions, isn't it? Emotional value, EV. So I selected the first one and then I would drag and drop that to the canvas. So it says EV, I'll leave the name as it is, and I'm going to hit enter. Then it will come over there. And also I'll take a little bit down, and I'll put these 6 questions over this side. Not 6 questions, 3 questions. Over this side, now it's nicely arranged over there. So that's the emotional value, EV. Emotional value is also taken. There are 3 questions. I took all 3 questions. Then comes what? CV. CV is the conditional value. So I'm going to select the first one, and I'm going to go down, down, down. And CV, there are 4 sub questions, right? As you could see. And then I'm going to put that also here. So it will ask CV. Yes, I leave it as CV. And then I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to put this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 questions over this side. Let's see. Then epistemic value, right? So there are 4 sub questions. So I'm going to again select the first one and shift down arrow key and put the epistemic value over here. And it's EPV, and I have that, and I will put it over here. A little bit I'll take it a little bit down over here. The EPV, right? That's good. That's there. EPV is there. And then we have SV. SV, that's a social value. That's the last independent variable. So I'm going to go down, 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 then social value, right? There are how many questions? There are 4 questions, sub questions. So social value, I'm again going to take it over here, put it over here. Now it's SV. And yes, I'm going to arrange these sub questions on this side. And then finally, purchase integer. Purchase integer is the dependent variable. So what I'll do is I'll put it over here, right? That's a dependent variable, purchase value. So the purchase integer. So the purchase integer is there. So P1, PI1, PI2, PI3. There are 4 sub questions. So I'm going to put it over here, somewhere over here. And it's PI, and I'm going to hit enter. There, no problem. So let these be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it be there. That's good. I'm going to a little bit now. If you want to see the entire model, what you can do is you can see that there's this zoom in and out thing, and you can just make it smaller if you want to see the entire one. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have your dependent variable. You can bring the dependent variable to this side. Somewhere here, no? You can keep it like there's no any order, right? Right now, this is where you have your model, right? You have now brought to variables and their sub questions, right? So we have now accomplished that step. Right? That's what we did here, right? Create the model, right? Now what you need to do is you need to now connect these variables, the independent and the dependent variable, right? You could position the indicators properly. Now these are called the indicators, right? These are the variables, and these sub questions are known as indicators. Make it indicators like here. If I make it larger. Now, opinion leadership has how many indicators? 6 indicators, 6 sub questions. These are called indicators. Then what you need to do is, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller over here, scrolling. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to connect the independent variables with the dependent variable. Now these are opinion leadership and purchase integer. Now I'm going to connect them. To do the connection, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use connect. You can see here, connect. On the top, you have connect. Earlier it was select. Now I have to connect. Connect. Right? Click on connect, and then click on the first variable. While clicking on that, click karagenama, right? Choose the purchase intention variable. Then now it becomes blue color. Both are becoming blue color. That means they are connected. If it is a red color, that means something is wrong. It's not yet connected. So now it became blue color. Now again, now connect is already selected. Select the second one, right? And then right? While you select that, just press the mouse key and connect it to the dependent variable purchase integer. So they also became blue. This also became blue. This one again, you select this one And then while being selected, mouse එක තද කරගෙන keep the mouse pressed and select this one. Then this one, do the same thing. And this one. Okay. And then this one. So welcome, you have drawn your first model. You can press save to save the model. So this is your first model that you drew. Right? Now, let me give you some important information again. Now you have drawn your model. How about my good students? Have you done it? It's not difficult, isn't it? Karagatta?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now what we can do is, now we'll try to understand certain things. Now this opinion leadership, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, likewise there are sub questions, which we call indicators. Now you can see the arrows are pointing towards these indicators. This means, right, these indicators are reflecting opinion leadership. Now for an example, religiosity, if I am a religious person, some things might reflect that, no? I might go to the temple, the mosque, or the church, or the kovil, or somewhere. I might go there. In the morning, I might get up and worship my deity. Then in doing anything, I might not rob, I might not steal. Likewise, there are certain indicators, reflections of a person that to be religious. Likewise, these are called reflective indicators. Reflective. Being reflective, if I remove one question, would it impact the variable? Would it impact? No, because those are reflections. You can safely remove any question, but still the variable will be reflected. Now, maybe I might not wake up in the morning and worship the deity, but I might be going to the religious place of worship. I might never rob, right? I might read the scripture. That's relevant. Maybe the Bible, maybe the Tripitaka, maybe the Quran, maybe the Vedas. I might be reading them. So likewise, you can safely remove one and still the variable will be there in a reflective model. But then there is another model called formative model where the arrows are pointing towards the variable. That means that particular indicator needs to be there to have the variable. It's like a human. Now to tell a human, you need certain elements, no? Like you need a head, you need a brain, you need hands, you need a mouth, like you need certain things. No? Now, if you don't have a very important element, then you cannot call that person a human. That's what we call formative models. Formative. Now, let's say in this case, it's a reflective construct. Now, in a formative construct, let's say this oil is being a human and oil is having a brain. Now, without a brain, can you call a person a human? You might say, yes, sir, we have in the parliament, we have that kind of people. They have a stomach, not a brain. Yeah, that's correct. But again, technically or medically, we cannot call that a human. So that's a formative. To form the variable, you need that. But then there are certain indicators that are reflective. It reflects things. It doesn't form things. So likewise, there are two models, but here we are doing what? A reflective model. Even for your examination purposes, as well as most of the cases, it will be reflective models that we are checking. Right? In social science research, what we are usually doing is, so far, I have come across, right, reflective models. So the arrows are pointing outwards like this. That's reflective and formative. So here as well. Okay. These are reflective model, right? And so because it's the arrows are pointing outwards the variable, right? And PI here, purchase intention, is an endogenous variable. Now in smart PLS language, the dependent variable, right? The dependent purchase intention. Now these are the independent variable, right? In smart PLS language, in the structural equation language, we call this PI, the dependent variable, not as a dependent variable, but as what? What? As an endogenous variable. Same thing, different name, endogenous. That's the dependent variable. Then in smart PLS language, we call the independent variables, not independent variables. We call what? Exogenous variables. Same thing in a different name, right? The independent variables are known as the exogenous variables. So the name also has to get a little bit changed. So that's endogenous variable, and these are exogenous variable. So endogenous means the dependent variable. Exogenous variables means the independent variables. You can take down these things. I have given that as a note as well. Right? Now, after doing this, we are going to check the models. Now, there are two models over here. Let me make it smaller, then you can see. Let's see the entire thing. Okay. Now, if you look at, now let me use the drawing function of annotation function of teams, right? Okay, it's starting.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Puta.
Sir, what is the name of the other model? The first one is the reflective model. The other one?
Other one, Puta, formative model. Formative.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Puta, good. Thank you. Formative model. Then, Puta, now I am going to draw. Now, this is called the inner model. The inner model connects the independent and dependent variables. This also should come like this, right? Right. Inner model can make it. Then that's the inner model. Let me use a different color. We have colors. Then this is called the outer model, which combines the variables, the indicators, and the variables, constructs. That's called the outer model. This is the outer model, and this is called the inner model. In the inner model, what you can see is the connections between the variables are indicated in the inner model. In the outer model, what you see is the connection between the indicators and the variable are given. This is the inner model. We can take down it, right? Inner model. Inner model. And then the outer model is where it's outside, of course. It's called the outer model. Where the relationship between the indicators, the sub-questions, and the variables are indicated on the outer model. The inner model is where it shows the relationship between these independent and the dependent, exogenous and the endogenous variables. Right? That also is there. So therefore, that's what I will note here. Right? First, we have to check the, let me delete the annotations clear. Right? First, we have to check the, assess the measurement model. Here, measurement model is also known as the outer model. Right? First, that's what we are going to check. That's also known as what? The outer model. Right? Inner model eකට තමයි මේ outer model කියලා කියන්නේ. Sorry, measurement model is known as the outer model. So first of all, we are going to check the outer model or the measurement model. Then afterwards, we are going to check the inner model, which is called the what? Which is called what? The structural model. So that's step number 2. You can see structural model. So remember, right? First of all, we have to check the measurement model, which is called the outer model. So the outer model is what I showed you earlier. The outer model is where you are trying to check the indicators and the dependent, the variables, the independent and dependent variables. So that's called the outer model. Also known as what? The measurement model. Outer model eකට කියනවා measurement model එක කියලා. Then afterwards, once we check that, we'll come to the second stage and check the inner model, which is called what? Which is called what?
Structural model.
Structural model. The inner model is known as the structural model. Okay. Is that clear? Right. So let's see how to check the inner model. Not the inner model, the outer model, right? The measurement model. That's number one. So first check the outer model. ඊට පස්සේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා එළිය check කරලා ඊට පස්සේ තමයි ඇතුලේ check කරන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. First of all, you check the outer one and then you check the inner one. The outer model is also known as the measurement model and the inner model is known as the what? What's it known as? What's it known as?
Structural model.
Structural model. Very good. Structural model. Okay. First, let's now check the outer model, or which is known as the measurement model. Outer model eකට තමයි measurement model කියලා කියන්නේ. අපි ඒක check කරන විදිය බලමු. Now to check that, you have to use this path. Use calculate, PLS algorithm, choose factor, and start calculation. We'll do that. To do that, what you do? Now you can go to calculate method. Can you see that? Calculate. Calculate, then what? Then go to PLSM algorithm. Can you see that? I agree on that. PLSM algorithm. Calculate. PLSM algorithm. There are other things. We are going to use bootstrapping for the next one to check the inner model, right? For the structural model, we are going to use the bootstrapping, but here to check the outer model or the measurement model, we are going to use the PLSM algorithm. Please choose PLSM algorithm. Calculate, go to calculate and PLSM algorithm. Right. Then it will give you different options, right? Please select factor here. That's the only thing that you have to do. Right? Factor. Path key negative path coefficients come under for the inner model. So they are for the structural model as we call it. So, but here choose factor. Factor key negative. And keep others as it is. There's no any change that you have to do. Right? Just choose factor here. Factor key negative. Please take it down. Choose factor. I have given the note as well, but again you can take down. And then you can press start calculation. Then it came the calculation. Now you can see the calculated values are given. Right. Now let's try to interpret the result. Right. I have given the interpretation. Okay. First thing what you have to do is once you do the start calculation, you can observe the factor loadings. Here what you can see is these are called the factor loadings. Can you remember when we did factor analysis, the factor loadings came? What do we mean by factor loadings? The correlation between this particular indicator and the variable. Right? Let me enlarge it so you can see it better. Right? You can see the relationship between the correlation between this particular indicator and the variable is 0.693. Right? So higher the better. And what it says is usually, I'm going to know, factor loading should be above 0.5. And that shows the indicator reliability. That shows the indicator reliability. That means the indicators are reliable. Now these are called indicators. So if the factor loadings are above 5, then there's indicator reliability. Now for OL, what do you think? Are these indicators reliable? Indicators reliable? Yes, no? Because all are above 0.5. All are above 0.5, not 0.7, it's 0.5 is enough. All are above 0.5. So therefore for OL, there is no problem. Then let's go to the next one. FV, functional value, are above 0.5? Yes. FV4 marginally is above, but again it's above 0.5. There is no problem. But there is a problem of FV7. FV7, it's very small value, 0.091. That's not good. Right, I have given a note. But however, even if the loadings are lower than 0.5, you may not need to delete it. Now, if there's something, usually what we do is, if it is below 0.5, right, then you have to check that and you might need to remove that. But for that, before removing that, we can check the AV. But here, obviously now, you can see it's 0.091 here, 57. This one is very small, isn't it? 0.091. We were expecting actually at least 0.5. Had it been at least 0.4, we could have kept it. But here is 0.091. So better delete this. Because what? This particular indicator has what? Lower what? Factor loading. Right? Factor loading. That means lower indicator reliability. That's not a good indicator. So what we do is we will select this and press the delete key. Right? Press the delete key. Usually it should go. What again? Okay, unknown. Right. So what we can do is we can go out. We can go to exit. And we'll enlarge it. Right. Now FE7, please select that and press delete. FE7, select that and delete. We're deleted. Usually, yeah, here it's the FE7 and you should press delete. Higher. Maintain delete. And you can say delete. So FE7 is gone. You use this right over. FE7 had to go. FE7 had to go because it had a very tiny value. Right. You can use this particular thing, delete, and then go and click on that. So it would go. Now again, we have to recalculate because we had that one, FE7. Okay, I think I deleted something else as well. So I undid it and I went back and I am going to delete FE7. So oil delete right now it's there. So use this delete key, right? And then recalculate again. You can go to calculate, PLSM algorithm, and make sure factor is selected and press calculate. Okay, again it came up and again let's check whether something is below 0.5. Oil did not have a problem. All are above 0.5. Here there was a problem and we deleted that. That's okay. Let's go on. Then for EV, is everything fine? Yes, it's above 0.5. Then CV, again all are above 0.5. Then EPV, again above 0.5. And then SV, again all above 0.5. We can check that for the dependent variable, the endogenous variable as well, and see whether that's okay as well. Okay, so this the dependent variable. Right, PI is the purchase intention is the dependent. Here also you can see everything is above 0.5. So if it is above 0.5, the factor loadings, we call it what? These indicators have indicator reliability. Right, so that's what I have given here. Right. So therefore, we told that FE7 factor loadings are quite very poor. Right, it was 0.09. So remove that. Okay. Then after that, what we can do is we can check the reliability. Reliability by using Cronbach's alpha as well as composite reliability. Right. We'll see these things. Cronbach's alpha as well as composite reliability. Already we discussed Cronbach's alpha under reliability analysis, and even yesterday I saw some students were telling about reliability. I was very happy to hear that. And we know that the Cronbach's alpha value should be above 0.7. And also there is something called composite reliability, which again something similar, right? Where it gives now Cronbach's alpha is that one, right? That's the internal reliability, and then there's composite reliability, which is given as R rho A. Rho A, that's the name given for that. It also has to be above 0.7. Now let's check these things. See the construct, validity, and reliability section. Now we'll go back to Smart PLS, and then you can see here, right? Here you can see, now this is the result where we are, and here a little bit, if you go down, 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 you can see here, construct, reliability, and validity. Right? How I went there? I went to this section over here, and you can see here, under quality criteria, we have what? Construct, reliability, and validity. How I went there? I went to this pane over here, and it has graphical, final results, etc., was there. If you want to graphical result, then you can go back and you can see this model. But here I went down, 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 and I went to quality criteria, and I went to construct, reliability, and validity. Now here you can see the cron-batch alpha value is given for each variable, the dependent and the exogenous and endogenous variable, or independent and dependent variable, it's given. So you can see nothing is in red color. If something is upset, then Smart PLS will show that, right? But everything you can see is above 0.7. Cron-batch alpha is above 0.7. That's extremely good. Then you can see rho A is given, that's composite reliability, right? Even one has even above, it's 1, right? All others, right? There's no any problem. The rho A is also above 0.7. Rho C, again, another type of composite reliability, that's also very good. We'll come to the AVE lipid later. That's a validity measure, right? But you can see all the reliability measures are showing that these variables are reliable, right? The indicators that have been used are reliable. Right? Just remember, these values should be above 0.7. These are all about the reliability. So I have given a note over here. So see the construct, validity, and reliability section of the output, and then you can see here in all cases the cron-batch alpha and the composite reliability is above 0.7. So that's the reliability analysis. Then now let's go to the validity. To check the validity, you check something called the AVE. That's called the convergent validity. What do I convergent? Convergent validity means these indicators should come together to form the particular variable, right? Convergent means that no, these indicators have to be coming together. If they don't come together, then there's something wrong, because all should be, now for if it is opinion leadership, all 6 sub-questions come together and tell that it's opinion leadership. That's called convergent. Then later on, we'll be looking at divergent validity or the discriminant validity. That's something else. So first, let's check the convergent validity. Coming together. Convergent means whether they come together, right? Whether the subconstructs within, the indicators within a variable comes together. So to see whether it comes together, we are looking at the AVE. So AVE stands for average variance extracted, right? Average variance extracted. Here, this value should be above 0.5. Just take down, right? While the reliability should be above 0.7, to check the convergent validity, AVE, the value should be above 0.5, right? Again, go and see the construct, validity, and reliability section, which we are in now. And you can see, let's go there. You can see under convergent validity, so it was the section we went earlier. You can see here the AVE values all are above what? Above 0.5. So therefore, we can say there is what? Convergent validity. All these indicators under these variables have convergent validity. They converge together. They come together. They touch upon the same construct, same variable. So that's why we call convergent validity. So just remember, the AVE should be above 0.5. Right? Keep that in mind. right? You can take down this thing. I have given you a note, right? So it should be above 0.5. Then you call it, right? So I also have given note, right? If something is lower now, if AV is low, then you need to check what's gone wrong. And if AV is really below 0.4, you need, so if it is below 0.4, you might need to see the factor loadings, the earlier one, right? Under the indicator reliability, the factor loadings you check now. If some factor loading is below 0.4, you have to remove that and recalculate the AV. Here you don't need to do that. Just remember, if the AV is above 0.5, that's extremely good. That has convergent validity. So the indicators are converging, coming together. They are indicating opinion leadership or whatever the variable that's represented. That's called convergent value, right? Then the next thing under validity we are going to check is the discriminant validity. Now convergent validity, whether the indicators are coming together. No? Now discriminant validity means different, right? Different indicators indicate different things. Now, for an example, opinion leadership questions cannot reflect under what? Under functional value related questions. It has to be different, distinct. That's called discriminant validity. That's called discriminant validity. For that, we could use the Horner-Lanka criterion as well as HTMT ratio. Also, you can look at the cross-loadings as well. We'll take one by one and see what are these. Right? Now, up to now, I taught you three things. Number one, I taught you, okay, how to check the what? Reliability. Even before that, I told you, you have to look at the factor loadings that will give the indicator reliability. Whether the indicators are reliable. It has to be above 0.5. Then I taught you, okay, right? Then I taught you the construct reliability, the variables reliability. For that, you are going to use reliability analysis. You are going to use what? The Cronbach alpha as well as composite reliability. It has to be above 0.7. Then validity, I told you that you are going to look at what? First, the convergent validity. Convergent validity, whether the indicators came together. And I told you for that, you need to look at the AV. If the AV is above 0.5, that's extremely good. Then now let's come into the discriminant validity or the divergent validity. Whether the constructs, whether these questions come under different constructs. These constructs are different, right? They cannot be the same. No, if the same is, then there's no two variables, the same variable. So these should measure different variables. Discriminant. For that, Putha, we are going to use the Horner-Lanka criteria, HTMT ratio, as well as cross-loading. First, let's look at the HTMT ratio, right? The HTMT ratio should be, if it is less than 0.85. Now here it should be less than 0.85. It's good, right? So let's go and check that. You can go and see the discriminant validity indexes, right? Let's see. Here you can see just below construct validity and reliability, you have the discriminant validity. So you can go over here, you can click on discriminant validity. First comes the HTMT matrix, right? HTMT matrix. So it says what? HTMT ratio is there. So check whether it's below 0.85. Almost all are below 0.85, but only EPV is 0.87. Ideally, all these should have been less than 0.85. But here you can see this, the HTMT. HTMT stands for what? Heterotrait monotrait ratio, right? Don't worry about that, just a HTMT ratio. These should be below 0.85. One for EPV and CV, you can see EPV and CV, there's a little bit, they are not discriminant. They are not different, it seems. A little bit, but not a major issue. Not a major issue. We was 0.87. 0.85 was the thing that we expected a little bit. So it's like blood sugar, right? Blood sugar, if it is around 100, 120, there's no problem. But if it's above 110, little bit, there's a problem. Right? If 112, there's a problem. Likewise, but again here it's 0.87. Had it been this in red color, sometimes Smart PLS indicates that in red color. If it is in red color, that's an issue. But here it's 0.87, no problem, but should have been all others are less than 0.85. So that's what it says. If there's an issue, check the cross loadings. You have to see the cross loadings. We can check the cross loadings. So if you check the cross loadings, that means it's a familiar thing that you see. So these are the cross loadings. So it shows that, okay, CV1, now cross loadings, now these see the construct CV. Okay, you can see. Now the loadings, these are the factor loadings. Now here everything is for CV1, CV2, CV3 has very good. CV4, it has all good values. For others, under CV, it's less than 0.8, right? 0.7. Right, it's less than. If you take EPV, you can see for EPV, the factor loadings are very high. But when it comes to CV and EPV, here you can see EPV and CV4 has a high factor loading. That should never be the case, but that's what it indicates. But if you take EV, all these are low, but for EV related questions, you can see EV, it's 0.6, it's 0.9, 0.6. So if a certain indicator has high factor loadings, that shows what? It's going with that particular construct. Now here, we should take this one. All these others are less than 0.7. That you expect all others should be less than 0.7. But here, unfortunately, EPV, right, CV4 for EPV has a high factor loading. But that's the only issue. So CV4 seems a problem. This question seems, cross-loaded into CV as well as EPV. We might need to, sometimes it was very high. Then I would have even removed CV4 as one of the indicators for CV, conditional value. Likewise, you can check this. This call, you can check the cross loadings. But just remember, HTMT ratio should be less than 0.85. And you can also check that whether discriminant validity is there by using the Horner-Locker criteria. What's Horner-Locker criteria? Very simple thing. You can go to Horner-Locker criteria. What it says is, now these are diagonal. CV has 0.83. EPV has 0.83. Anything below the diagonal should be less than the diagonal value. Now let's see CV, it's 0.83 and all other values are less than 0.83. Right? Horizontally as well as vertical. Now vertically it's low. And then you should take EPV, of course, this is less than 0.833. Then 0.779, these are less than 0.779 as well as these are also less. So this is called the Horner-Locker criterion, that these things should be less than the diagonal value. All these indicate that there's discriminant validity. So to check the discriminant validity, we are looking at what? Three things. The HTMT ratio. The HTMT ratio should be less than 0.85. You can go here and you can see the HTMT ratio slightly high. You saw that in the cross loadings, you saw that. Number two, what you can do is you can look at the Horner-Locker criteria, or you can look at the cross loadings and see whether the sub questions had loaded properly into the particular variables. So these are the variables, CV, PV, there are 7 variables. So here there's a small cross loading happen, right? CV4, usually these should be the highest and all others should be lower than these values, but here lower than 0.7. But here you can see for EPV and CV4, there's an unnecessarily high relationship. So can't help, that's the way. Okay, but it's not a big issue because that HTMT ratio was only 0.87, not a very large value. Okay, so that's how you check discriminant validity, whether these variables are different from each other, whether these indicators differently loaded under different variables. That's called discriminant, distinct. Earlier, AVE checked what? Convergent validity, whether the constructs came under one variable. And the AVE had to be above 0.5. Right? Is that clear? Right. Okay. So then you can report this, right? Measurement model, the outer model or the measurement model. You can indicate these things. You can tell the factor loadings, you can tell about the reliability, you can tell about the AV, you can tell about the discriminant validity. So in your research paper. Right. Okay. Now let's come to the checking the outer model or the inner model. In fact, the outer model is what we checked. The outer model is the measurement model. Now we shall check the inner model. Inner model is where you are going to check the relationship between the independent and the dependent variables, which is called a structural model as well. Right? Now let's see how to do that. For that, you are going to use the bootstrapping technique. Bootstrapping technique. And with this, we can get the result. Right? First, you check what? The outer model. Right? Which is called the measurement model. Then you check what? The inner model or the structural model. So let's see how to check that. You go to Smart PLS. Again, you go to, maybe you can save the things if you want. You can create and you can save. Okay. You can go to edit. And while being here, go to now calculate. Go to calculate. And now don't go to PLSM. PLSM algorithm is used for the outer model or the measurement model. To check the structural model or the inner model, you are going to use bootstrapping. You went to bootstrapping. You went to bootstrapping. And yes, usually you expect 5,000 bootstraps. Bootstrapping means it's going to run 5,000 times iterations. It will take some time if you have a slow computer, but that's a recommended amount, 5,000, right? 5,000, right? And please, we need the complete results. Under amount of results, let's say complete results. You can choose complete results. Leave 5,000 as it is and say 5,000 complete results, right? And also under PLS setup, go to PLS setup. And earlier we had chosen path factor. Now we need to see the paths. Paths are these arrows, right? The paths. We will see that shortly. Go to paths, and that's all. So under BT setup, bootstrapping setup, I ensure that 5,000 is there and complete results are there. Complete. And then I went to PLS setup and I choose path. Right? I choose path. Is that okay? Now these I'm checking the inner model, right? The structural model as we call it. And now press calculate. Start calculation. It will take some time. You can see. Now if the bootstrap was 5,000 or 500 or 1,000, that would have taken less time. But again, better to have 5,000 to have a valid result. So it's running 5,000 times this algorithm, right? I'm getting the result. That's called bootstrapping. That's why in Smart PLS, even if you have a small sample, it will expand it through these iterations. Very good. So it ran, right? And you can see now it has given some other results. Now here you can see, if you go and see here, it says it gives the R square. Same thing in regression analysis. R square is how much? 0.44 R square. R square is the exponential power of the independent variables, right? It's 0.44. And the path coefficients are also given. Path coefficients are also given. So that's what you have to report. This is your regression, final regression model. We check the outer model and now you are checking the inner model, the inner model, right? Then you can see the path coefficients and the relationships. You can go to the table and you can check that. You can go to the path coefficients. You can see here under final result, there's path coefficients. So this table is very interesting. It tells what's the relationship. Now CV, your CV is conditional value and purchase intention. It shows this the coefficient, right? And it shows, okay, whether it's significant or not. Is CV significant on purchase intention? Actually, I show you the diagram. This is the conceptual diagram. Now you have the conditional value and purchase intention. So this is the relationship that's discussing here. Is CV significant? No. The p-value is above 0.05. It's not. How about EPV, epistemic value on purchase intention? It's also not significant. So these are not significant predictors. CV is significant to plan, EPV is significant to plan. Then how about EV? Emotional value, that's also not significant. Then FE, functional value, that's also not significant. Functional value is also not significant. FE is also not significant. But then what's significant? OL, opinion leadership. Yes, opinion leadership. When others are telling good about certain things, we do that. When Mahela Javardhana comes and tells things, now we don't care. But again, those days, there was some, some impact. So opinion leadership. So OL just has, because it's less than 0.05. So in green color, it's given. In red color, it gives if it is not significant. Then however, social value. Yes, it is significant. Social value is significant. So what's your final conclusion? Right? Out of all these independent variables, only two independent variables are significant: opinion leadership and social value. What has the greatest impact out of those two? You see, what's the higher coefficient? It's 0.24. So it seems social value has the highest impact on, right? It's a significant, both social value and opinion leadership has significant predictors. So to increase the purchase intention, right, these undergraduates, what they have to do is they have to create social value. They have to create social awareness, right? And they have to make it that using this app creates social premium, right? Or kind of it's accepted by the society. Then they have to also employ opinion leaders to promote this app. So that's the two recommendations that you can give by looking at this relationship. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Okay. So now see, not like regression, OLS regression, it's very clear. So this is called the path diagram. This is called the path diagram. So it's very clearly indicating what are the paths, and not like in SPSS. And it's not difficult at all, isn't it? You have to just to know to interpret the inner model and then come to first the outer model and check whether those parameters are okay, and then come to the inner model and just generate this path diagram. That's it. And if you go to the graphical output and finally in your paper, in your thesis, you are going to put this graphical output on. And you can see that path coefficients are there. The path coefficients are there. And you can choose like what is being indicated now. If you want to have the coefficient values, you can choose now. The p values are given in the inner model. So why not we say the coefficient, path coefficients and the p values. Now it's giving the path coefficients and the p values. Early it was indicated on the p values. So I think you can remember here the path coefficients for SV was social value was 0.0246. I think I remember that here. Final results path coefficient. Yeah, 0.0246. That's the coefficient, and the significant value is 0.014. Right? You can see that. Okay. And that I took from here. You can say path coefficients. And if you want, you can have the path coefficients, the p values, but I prefer the path coefficients and the p value, whether it's significant or not. So you can see not all are significant, only few things are significant, only two variables are significant. That's indicated. These are the variable that's opinion leadership. That's significant, and usually you wouldn't again wonder about the outer one. So if you want to hide this, You can right click and you can say hide indicators. Hide indicators. When you do the final regression analysis, you don't need to see the indicators again. Let it be. If you want, you can show it. Right? Hide indicators. Hide indicators. And this is what you are going to put finally in your output. Hide indicators. Hide indicators. And your research paper and your thesis or dissertation will be shown in this diagram. So how to get this diagram? It's very easy. You can, if you want to export this diagram, you can export this. You can save this first of all, right? Save the file name in whatever you want, and right. So it's done. And then you can right click and you can export as an image. You can export it. You can right click on this path and you can export an image. Right? Export as an image. So you can copy it to the clipboard, or you can copy it to or create a file. I'll copy it to the clipboard, and I'll say export. Then I'll go to Word file or whatever the file, and I can put that over. I can go over here. I'll go to my this file, and then I can go over here. Let's see, and I can paste it. So like it's not pretty, but again you can make it pretty, right? Okay, so that's how you run Smart PLS. It's extremely easy, isn't it? It's extremely easy, not difficult at all. Then I'll teach you after this how to do a moderation analysis, a moderator, what's a moderator, and how to do a moderation analysis also I teach you. But before I do that, we'll have a break. And after the break, we'll have the quiz. Right? It was a quiz again, or moderation analysis. Right? Okay. Right? Okay. Let's have a break now. Now it's almost 10:55. So let's take about 20-minute break, right? And meet at 11:15. Take a long break, and then, right, we'll meet at 11:15, right? 11:15 today, right? AM. And then be ready to go to the LMS and perform. So I'll ask you to download a PDF file which contains this output. Again, same kind of output. And I'm going to use the same case study, only the values will be different, right? But you have to, the answers are different. So therefore, you need to read the case study, but it will be very similar to this, right? But the premium application name would be a little bit different, but similar scenario to make my students' lives easy. So I'll give a description first of all, and I'll give you about 10 minutes to do the exam, right? The quiz, and that's it. Okay. Okay, so we'll meet at 11:50. Okay. And let's do the class quiz after that. So be ready and be poised. At 11:15, we'll do that, right? Okay. Okay, students, welcome back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Buddha, good, very good. So I'm going to share my screen, right? And I'm going to on the quiz. So, okay. Now refresh your LMS and then under announcements, there'll be at the end quiz D, right? Please go over this. Go to quiz D. Click on quiz D. Then the quiz closes at 11:30. Actually 11:32, right? So as you can see, before that, you have to complete this quiz. So you have almost 15-16 minutes. First thing what you have to do is you have to download this particular PDF file. You can click on that and it will get downloaded. So there, if you go there, you will see the case study, which is very similar to what we discussed. Smart music premium app and same questionnaire, right? Same thing as it is, only the name is different. Then the outer model is given, right? The outer model is given. And then you have got the construct reliability and validity of the outer model. Then HTMT ratio of the outer model. Then for the inner model, path coefficients I've given you. So quite very similar. Okay. But the values are different, so please go through it carefully. And then once you do that, now you can go and attempt quiz now. Just say attempt quiz now, and you have got the 10 questions. Good luck. Good luck. So the quiz will close at 11:32. So attempt now. If you don't attempt, the quiz will be gone. It will be closed automatically at 11:32. No single second will be given by the system. You have to read quickly and then attempt the quiz. Time is running. I see only 38 people who have gone into the quiz. So therefore, quickly enter into the quiz because the quiz will be closed by 11:32. Whether you submit or not, it will be closed at that time. Whatever you had done will be taken. I can see 46 students attempting. You are 12 minutes from now. And after that, automatically the quiz closes. Please not like the Google form. In Google form, I in fact waited about 1 or 2 minutes, right? But here it's not the case. There are 10 questions and all are necessary to be attempted. Another 7 minutes more. Five minutes more. So you have 1 minute more, and if you don't do it automatically, it will be submitted. Therefore, kindly submit. Yeah, thank you. So as I told you, it automatically gets submitted, even if you don't press submit. Right. Okay, good. So actually, very good. I'm very happy. So let me show you the histogram. It's negatively skewed. That means students have done very well. Right? Students have done very well. So let me repeat, share the screen with you. Okay. So this is the marks that I'm not going to show the marks because some people have got very low marks, so I'm not going to show that. So here what it shows is you can see the marks range is in the horizontal line, right? The so-called x-axis. You can see 6 to 8, 8 to, in fact, 8 to 8.5, isn't it? 8 to 8.5, you can see majority have got their marks. About 16 students out of here got, and the average marks you can see here is 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. That's really good. Remarkable. Okay, now let me stop share and see whether there are any in progress students. That's system error. So these are some cross checking before we download the marks. Control F. Progress. In progress. Yes, there's one person in progress. But now I think that's also fine. Control F. In progress. Okay, no one. Rojan had a problem, but now I sorted it out. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to download the marks in an Excel file, download, and show you the analysis. But before showing the analysis, I'm going to sort it by the names. Not by the names, by the marks. Sort data as, say, grade out of 10. Okay. Okay, let's do it in ascending order. sort. What's this? Okay, give me a moment. Okay. Now sort. Okay. Right. So there's some students who has got very low marks. Right. I'm not going to show them. So let me hide their names. Some people below, let's say 6, I'm going to hide their names. Online. අටත් අපහාස කිරීම මගේ අරමුණ නරු. Okay. Let's highlight names. Okay. Okay. So let me share the screen. 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 Students, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, Pula, thank you very much. So you can see these two students, Sirivardhana and Netmini, they have got 10 out of 10. Then these students, right? These students, Devmini, then Kannangara, Lienage, as you can see, right? Lienage, Dialvis, Aravindan, Sivapriyan, Vinsara, Mohammed, Fauzan, they have got 9 out of 10. Then these students have got 8 out of 10. That's right. So Jakiti, then Ratnayaka, and Hindu. Likewise, there are different students. Ali, Pushpika, Suryarachi, Rajhan, Traikal, Sevandi KD, likewise, Saluad and Fonseca, right? And then these students have got 7. Yeah, you have put down then 6, and I have not shown 5. So Gunathira and these guys have got to go right. 6, that's good. Right. So these are the marks, and then unfortunately, I'm not going to show you the names. There are the names, but I have made it white font, so you won't see that. So there are certain students who have got even 1 mark. Right, very unfortunate, isn't it? And then there are students who have got 5 marks. That's quite unfortunate, right? Less than 6 means, but again, right? So that's what we have got. So let me now stop share and do the other processing. Okay, since you have done, your exams and you should be a bit tired, we'll take a 10-minute break now, and we shall meet at. So we'll be going till 12:30 today. So we'll take a 10-minute break and meet at 11:50 and continue our discussion on smart PLS. moderator, mediator. Particularly moderator, what's a moderator, and how we can check the moderating variable. Right? That's the next thing that I'm going to discuss. But before that, I think you deserve a good break, right? So please do have a break, and we'll meet at 11:50. Okay. Okay. Thank you, and we'll meet at that time. Okay, students, welcome back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I could see students had done very well in their things. That means so really good. I am very happy to see. So I'm just analyzing the results. Yeah. Good. I'm looking at your two results. Right. Okay. So, but still I see now even today, like after even we told it, there are certain students who are not there. Now the student did not come, Rislan, then Hasif. They are not there today as well. And then this particular student, Navarathan, in group number 7. That person is not there. And this person has attempted Kumar Singh, right? That I could see. Now, group number 7. Is anyone from group number 7 there? Ishani Sewan. You have a group member called Navaratna in group number 7. මොකක්ද යට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? දාලා ගිහිල්ලා. Anyone from group number 7? Group number 7. I'm sure. Yes, Puta. Group number 7. Ishani. Lead group number 7 people. What has happened to this girl? This person? Navaratna, I don't know it's a girl or boy, but again. What has happened? Someone from group number 7 will have to speak out. If not, I will have to penalize this entire group for not responding. Unethical conduct. When the lecturer says to speak out, you have to speak out. I'm asking
Sorry,
Master.
sir. Yes.
Harsha is there. No, okay, okay. මම දන්නේ දැක්කේ. මොකද්ද පුතා මේ නවරත්නට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ?
සර් එයා රිසර්ච් එක දැන් කරන්න ඉඳලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේකට චේන්ජ් වෙලා තියෙනවා සර්.
ඒක තමයි. කලින් අර කතා කරපු ළමයානේ. හරි. She spoke out. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Harsha. Okay. මට okay, පුතා. Right. Thank you. මම මාව දැක්කේ නෑනේ. ඔයාගේ group එක නේද Harsha? Okay. Good. So in that case, yeah. දැන් යා මාරු වෙලානේ. ඉතින් අද පුතා මාරු වෙලා අදවත් quiz එක කරලා නෑ. She has not done the quiz today also. අද ඒ ළමයා කතා කරා දැන් ඉන්නවත් ඇති ලෙක්චර් එක. නමුත් quiz එක කරේ නෑ නිය. මොකද?
සර් මම එයාත් එක්ක කතා අප්ඩේට් එකක් දුන්නා ගමන් නැත් සර්.
එයාට දෙන්න දැන් එයාට නම් අපිට නම් අවස්ථාවක් දෙන්න බෑ. Today is the last day. So, but again, yeah, you can tell her what's the situation because today she knew that there was a quiz and this was the last day. I could have even considered today and allocate certain marks. But again, now she has not done it today also. එතකොට අද මම කරේ අලුත්ම topic එකක්. So even if she had not come to any class early, she could have easily done this. At least to attempt. At least should have attempt. But again, Harsha, thank you. You just inform her that what's going on. Right, okay. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
I'll talk to her and inform, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay,
Sorry
thank
about
you.
that.
No. මම දැක්කේ නෑ. ඔයාගේ නමක් තියෙනවා. මම පස්සේ දැක්කේ ඉෂානිනේ ඉස්සෙල්ලාට ඉන්නේ. So Harish is a very attentive student indeed. Okay. Right. In that case, okay, Puta, thank you. So let me go back to the slideshow. Right, now I'm going to teach you a little bit of advanced topic about moderation and mediation. But then I tell you how to check that in Smart PLS. Right, Smart PLS, how to check the moderation and mediation. So let me first tell you what's moderation and mediation. Let me play a small video to you. Right. Moderation and mediation. We'll see what's moderation and mediation first of all. Very simply. Very simple. We don't need very intricate relationships. What are these? So okay. Right. Let's see what's a moderation, what's a mediation. I got the video. Right. Okay, let me share the screen with you and it sounds. Okay. Okay. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now we'll see the difference between moderation and mediation, and I'll teach you how to do a moderation analysis in Smart PLS very, very easily. Very easily, because that's the power of Smart PLS. Because if you did the regression analysis in SPSS, what I taught you, you will get the exact same results in SPSS. Right? You will get the exact same results, but but on the other hand, right, you can test very complex models in Smart PLS. Now I'll just tell you how to check a moderation analysis. But first of all, we'll try to see what's a moderator and what's a mediator. Okay, let's look at this. Now here he's discussing about studies, right? This is James Gefkin, right? He's talking about, okay, how these are impacted. Now, for example, curiosity might be impacting the learning, but when there are distractions, that relationship is impacted. When you have phone and Facebook and your friends are calling all the time, then those are distractions. So curiosity might impact learning, but that might be moderated. That might be impacted. The quality of that relationship might be impacting because of distractions. But mediation means something else. Curiosity leads to discovery. Discovery leads to learning. So this is the middle variable. That's why we call it mediation. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's now go through what's the mediation and moderation. Okay.
An issue that I'm constantly faced with as I receive emails.
Did you hear that, Puta?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
From many of you is the difference between a mediator and a moderator. And so I thought I'd make a video to just explain the differences and how we can know. So a mediator is the reason for the effect the IV, this one, has on the DV. For example, the reason curiosity impacts learning is because curiosity creates discovery, and it's discovery that leads to learning. Now, a moderator is very different from that. A moderator is just to contextualize the effect. So curiosity impacts learning. We understand that there's some positive effect there. But this effect right here is different when you have more or less distractions. So in the presence of few distractions, curiosity can lead to a lot of learning. In the presence of a lot of distractions, even if you have curiosity, not much learning might take place. So we would say that distractions dampen the positive relationship between curiosity and learning. Now, how do I know if it's a mediator or a moderator? I'm going to skip this slide and go to this one. There's some rigid criteria, so you will always know if you've got it right. A mediator must be the causal result of the IV and must be the causal antecedent of the DV, meaning the IV must cause the mediator and the mediator must cause the DV, if we're going to use causal deterministic language, using it loosely here. But in essence, one must cause the other, must cause the other. Whereas with a moderator, the moderator must not be the causal result of the independent variable. If it is, then it's a mediator, not a moderator. So, applying this rigid rule, let's look at the following here. So we're going to say that exercise leads to weight loss, right? The more you exercise, the more weight you lose, per se, or some say. So let's take a look at all of these 5 here and figure out if they're a mediator or a moderator. Exercise leads to weight loss because of caloric intake. Well, could that be a mediator or a moderator? The question you have to ask is, does exercise have any direct impact on caloric intake, i.e. how much you eat? The answer is yes, it does. The more you exercise, the hungrier you're going to be, and so the more you're probably going to eat. And so caloric intake must be a mediator. It cannot be a moderator. Let's look at well-being. Does exercise lead to well-being? Well, yeah, it should have some direct impact on well-being. Typically, the more you exercise to a certain extent, the better off you are, emotionally, psychologically, physically. And so we could say it does have an effect on well-being. Now, whether that has an effect on weight loss is another matter. What about gender? Exercise. Can exercise lead to gender? No, that's fixed when you're born. You have a gender or a sex or whatever you want to call it. You have manly parts or womanly parts, and that won't be affected by exercise. So gender cannot be a mediator. It must be a moderator. Question is, does exercise work differently on weight loss for men versus women? I'll let you argue that. What about age? Can exercise lead to age? This is numeric years of existence. The answer is no. Age exists completely separate from exercise. Now, there's some perceived age or health age or body age or whatever you want to call it, which is different from numeric years of existence. But because age cannot be impacted by exercise, it must be a moderator. What about prior weight? Can exercise change your weight prior to exercising? The answer is obviously not. That can have no effect on prior weight. So, because it happened before, right? Prior weight happened before the exercise. So prior weight must be a moderator, or in this case, maybe a control variable, if it doesn't have some transformative effect on the effect between exercise and weight loss. So again, that's how you determine if something is a mediator or a moderator. You look to see, can it be the causal result of the independent variable? If it can be, then it is not a moderator. It is probably a mediator. If it cannot be the causal result of the independent variable, then it cannot be a mediator. It is probably a moderator or maybe a control variable. I hope that clarifies.
Okay, students, is that clear? Now let's take this relationship. Job satisfaction, or let's say salary and job satisfaction. So let me take another relationship. Okay. Okay, let's take another relationship. So let's take for example pet. And let's take this relationship. Okay. We have 2 variables like this. Right. Let's take this one. Let's take this is salary. And then let's call this job satisfaction. So this job satisfaction. Okay. Let's take this the relationship. Now, what's the independent variable? Salary is the independent variable and job satisfaction dependent. Now, let's say age is impacting this relationship. Age is moderate. Let's say age, right? So age becomes a moderate. It moderates the relationship between salary and job satisfaction, because after certain age you might not be motivated, or below some age you might be not at all motivated. Who knows? So these are moderate. Age is a moderator that is either strengthening this relationship or weakening this relationship. Let's take another example. Let's take now salary, job satisfaction, and performance of employees. Right. Let's take this salary, job satisfaction, job satisfaction, and then performance. Job performance. Now you can see here there's a causal relationship. Salary is impacting job satisfaction. A satisfied employee is going to perform well, so it impacts the performance. Right? Here, what's job satisfaction? This variable. It's a mediator. Right? It's in the middle. And of course, you can draw a direct relationship like this as well, where salary would directly impact job performance as well. So this is what we call a mediator and a moderator. Is that clear, Buddha? Very simply. Simply, this is the explanation between a mediator and a moderator. Now let's see in Smart PLS how we can do a moderation. Mediation not required. Let's see how to do a moderation analysis. Right? Can be simply done, and I'll show you how to do that. For that, of course, we need to go to Smart PLS first of all. Right? And I have hidden these things. Now I'm going to show back again. Show not big but just to show. Earlier I hid those things. I'm going to show it back. Show. Okay, show. Right, great. Now let's say I'm going to say that between opinion leadership and purchase intention, is the independent dependent variable, age is going to be a moderate. Let's say for an example. Right. So because the age now, some people after certain age will not be impacted opinion leaders. Now, in fact, for me, I don't care what others say. I base my decisions based on facts and the functionality. That's what I do. So what I'll do is I will go over here, and now I will also I'll go to the original model. I'll say yes. And I'll go to the original model. Okay, let's go to the original model, premium musical. So this is the original model. And now I will take age. Let's say age as a moderate between. So let me make this smaller so you can see. Right. Let's say this is the independent variable now. It can be moderate. It can be moderation with any kind of variable. But again, let's say opinion leadership and purchase intention. I'm going to bring age as moderate. How to get them? I'll take age over here. Age variable, it's only one variable. So age is there. This is age. So there's only one indicator because it's age. We have taken the real age. And then if it's a moderator, it has to be drawn perpendicular line to between this relationship. Right? As we did earlier. So how can we draw that, right? You can draw connect and you can draw a line like this. That means age is moderating the relationship between opinion leadership and purchase intent. And if you want age to, if your age is also, if you think is functional value and purchase intention, you can draw another line like this. Likewise, you can draw to almost all relationships. Let's say these two relationships, right? You might think age might be impacting the opinion leadership and purchase intention, as well as, let's say, the functional value and the purchase intent. Right? That's all. Then afterwards, first of all, you will be checking the outer model, right? The outer model, which is called the measurement model. So you can check that, and you can see the usual things. We did that earlier, so I'm not going to waste your time. So let's directly go to the bootstrapping to check the inner model. And yes, it's 5,000. And PLSM, make sure it's in path. Path has been selected, right? And complete result is there. It's slower, but again, it's okay. So start calculation. And let me show you how to interpret the result after that. How to interpret the result. So it's doing a huge computation, 5,000 iterations, bootstrappings. It's a huge amount indeed. If you had made it 1,000, it would have been much speedier, but the results are not so good. Always keep in mind to have, by default, it's 5,000 iterations, bootstrappings. Okay, now you can see it has got the result. Very good. Now see, even it has indicated what kind of thing is there. If you look very closely, right? Now the sig values are given within brackets, isn't it? The sig values of age variable is given within brackets. Unfortunately, the sig values, the p values are above 0.05. We can see that in the path coefficients. You can see a moderator is indicated like this. Age into opinion leadership, right? It is always the into is there. So when you want to see, keep this in mind, make a special record on that. If you want to see whether there is a moderation relationship, look at this. This is called the interaction variable. Age into opinion leadership. Age into functional value, right? If you go to the graphical output, you can see that. Now, when you see age into opinion leadership, then age into functional value, and you see the impact on the purchase intent. So that's what is got there. So path coefficient. So this it shows the moderation, and you can see very clearly here. Are those significant? No. Here the p-values are above 0.05. So that shows, right, as indicated in the diagram as well, we saw that earlier, that age does not moderate. Age does not moderate the relationship between opinion leadership and purchase intention, as well as functional value and the purchase intent. So age is not a moderator. It doesn't have a moderating impact. That's your conclusion. Okay. So likewise, you can see whether certain variables moderate. Even you can do for that for mediation, but we'll not go to that extent. I think this is more than enough. So you can see in SPSS, this could be done, but not easily. You have to create certain variables and it's a fuss. But in Smart PLS, it's a matter of just drawing some lines. Putting the variable and drawing some lines, it's so convenient. And it's easy to interpret because in this table, path coefficient table, every relationship is given in a very nice table, and you can understand what's going on. Okay. So this is about moderation. And this is about smart PLS as well. This is about smart PLS, this is about moderation. And okay. And yeah, there's one pending thing I would like to do, but not today, of course. Today we had a long day relating smart PLS, then a quiz, as well as then again moderation. So we have, I also will be discussing about the, I need to discuss about the past paper. I that day discussed about question number 1. Then we have another 4 questions that I would like to discuss with you. I would like to do that not now. On 10th, we'll have the next presentations. There are 5 presentations more, and after 15 batch, and of course, we'll do that on that day. And then there will be a final lecture where I'll be doing a revision. I'll be taking all the revision, and then we'll try to understand how the final paper will be set, and etc. etc. Okay. Okay, so final paper, the final paper is a past paper, right? Let's call it not a past paper discussion. In degree programs, we don't discuss past papers. We discuss model papers indeed, but I'll take a past paper, make it a model paper, and I'll discuss with you, which will probably be very important for your final exam. Right. Okay, so we have discussed smart PLS as well. So to the point of today, I have given you all my important knowledge that's going to be important for your data analysis. I have discussed SPSS in and out, then state, right, for panel regression, as well as I have discussed smart PLS. There's one more thing that I would like to expose to you. That's called audit data analytics. And on the last day, we'll spend some time, about 1 or 1.5 hours to learn about that as well. Might not be, I'm not going to have a classroom test for that, of course. Don't worry about that. And probably it won't be on 11th. 10th, we'll have the physical presentations, but 11th, I won't be able to have the lecture because of another commitment. So we'll have that on a weekday evening, right? On that weekday evening, we'll discuss and finish the last thing, right? That's the paper discussion plus. And a little bit about audit data analytics, not much, right? And I don't intend to give a quiz on that day. Quizzes are enough, right? Enough quizzes. In classic quiz, right? So there won't be any quizzes after this because we had enough quizzes, 4 quizzes, right? And then several other classroom exercises as well. But still, I see there are certain students who were completely out of the track, but can't help what to do. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. With that, we'll call it a day, and we will finish our discussion for today. Any questions? Is it clear? For the exam, this is a very important area, right? A very, very important area when it comes to smart PLS. It's a very important area. And smart PLS is applied for regression analysis, right? Which is called structural equation modeling, because you can check any complex model in smart PLS, right? Now, these days, they don't use that much of SPSS for doing regression. Because they have very complex models, so they use smart PLS. So that also now you know. That also you know. So now, in fact, if you are given any kind of research, you will be able to do any kind of research. Why? Because I have taken you through all analysis, where even I told you how to open SPSS, and today I'm teaching you structural equation modeling in smart PLS. We have come a long journey. But of course, don't worry, I'll be explaining to you how the final paper will be there, and I'll tell what kind of things we tested. Okay. Okay, it will be very similar to the model paper, the final paper. So I'm not going to make it very complicated. Why should I? Okay, right. So with that, then we'll finish for today. Any questions? Is it clear?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Puta. Yes, Puta.
This is regarding the individual assignment.
Yeah, Puta.
Do we need to develop any questionnaire, or we can go with only the data set?
You can better if you can put an appendix, Puta, for the to tell that how you collected data. You don't need to collect data. It's a synthetic data set. Better if you can put an appendix in the appendix. It's not a must.
Okay, sir.
It's not a must. So you can
Okay,
I think Pushpika is asking a very important question. You can develop a case study like this. The maker use don't choose this, then there's no point. But on the other hand, you can develop a case study like this, right? And put bogus data, synthetic data. You don't need to collect a single data for that. You can just give a questionnaire, whatever, and then you can develop your case. So it's not a must, Puta. If it's there, you can put that in the appendix. It's good to have that, but but it's not a must. Some people,
Okay, sir.
yeah, some students would be using Puta secondary data. That's what. The annual report data then you don't need that question at all. But if you're using a data set, or you are preparing a synthetic data set, a made up data set from a questionnaire, then you can put that as an appendix. No harm. Nice question.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Puta. Thank you. How about others? Any questions, concerns? Okay, I think that sir, okay, right. Okay, we had a nice time. Thank you very much, students, for being with me and helping me to help you. So if you help me, I can help you. If you don't help me by doing now, how can you help me? You can help me by doing the role or playing the role of a student as a student. ඔයාලා පුතා එක එක විදියට ස්ටුඩන්ට් ගේ රෝල් එක ප්ලේ කරන්න නැතුව හිටියොත් අපිටත් පුතා හරි කරදරයක්. දැන් ක්විස් කරන්නේ ඇවිල්ලා එක එක කතන්දර කියනවා. එතකොට කොහොමද පුතා how can I help you? Right? So you have to play the role of a student, then it will be easy for you as well as for us. Okay, so therefore always try to adhere to the protocols, adhere to the policies, adhere to the requirements, and pay attention. Attention. Right now, you are playing different roles. Now, as a student, you are playing a role. As a son or a daughter, you are playing a role. As an employee or as an intern, you are playing the role. So each when you play the role, play it well and follow the ethical principles, and also do your job to the best of your ability. Then there won't be the problems will be minimum. A lot of problems arise because people don't do their job. They don't do their role. They don't play their role properly. Okay. So with that kind words and advices as well, then we'll finish for today. Thank you very much. It was very enlightening to be with you. And I was very happy to share a very, very important technique of data analysis, that's Smart PLS, with you all. Please take care of that. We'll meet next week, Saturday, physically for the presentations. And after that, we'll meet online. And with that, we'll finish our syllabus. Syllabus is almost done, but now I have that audit data analytics to be discussed with you to show you this idea software, as well as there's an Excel add-on as well. So called active data. You can do audits. Audit data analytics are there. So let me show you certain techniques how you can do that. In Excel, you can do audit data analytics. I'll teach you that. That's an add-on. So I have already got it in my system. So they have given me the lifetime version. It is the audit data analytics, active data. So it can do numerous analysis. We'll see whether I'm going to teach you this or the idea. Maybe probably this I'll teach you this easy because it's an add-on, right? It's an add-on to the Excel. So you can see what's active data. You can run the trial version for a certain period. I have got the original version. They gave it to me because I am a teacher, and it was developed originally by a teacher, a lecturer, a university professor. So I contacted him, so he gave it to me free of charge. So it's not a cracked or hacked version. So about active data, you can see about, yes, it's the original version. It's there. Okay. Right, that's in the future, maybe in the last lecture, which will be also doing online, but no quizzes hereafter. I think past the quizzes, right? There's no quizzes. Okay, good luck. And Puta, please take care. Wish you all the best. And we'll meet next week, Saturday, physical.